Hi there, welcome back. I promised in the last video that the next video was not going to take place in Hershey, and I'm keeping that promise. We love Hershey, there's a lot of stuff to do there, but kind of the point of this channel was to find places that I've never been to in Central PA and try to appreciate it a little bit more. So today we are going to a place that I've never been before, Pine Grove Furnace State Park. That's in Cumberland County. Let's go check it out and see what's there. We've arrived at Pine Grove Furnace State Park, and our first stop is the park office to get a little bit more of an idea of what is in store for us here. Here's a little view of the map of Pine Grove Furnace State Park. So let's go in and see if we can get a map to take with us. Having never been here before, we went into the park ranger office, and there were two very nice rangers in there who were kind enough to give us two different guides. The first is the Pine Grove Furnace State Park hiking guide, and in this it gives you a list of the different trails at the state park, the length of each trail, and how to get there. The second guide that they gave us is a park map, and this is a really nice, well done park map. It gives you a full map of Pine Grove Furnace State Park. It gives you, again, a list of the trails, how to get there, a little bit of the history of the park, and all the different things you can see and do while you're visiting. So we decided to park up by the park ranger office, and we are walking down to the furnace. There was a sign that indicated if you are camping overnight for the Appalachian Trail, there's another parking area down here, but we're just kind of walking on this trail to see where it leads us. In full transparency, I'm not a huge history buff. I am interested in history, but I don't have a lot of facts off of the top of my head. So any of the information that I talk about today is either taken from the state park's website or from some of the history boards that are located around the park. I do know that the furnace was built in the 1700s, and it was in operation for 131 years. In 1913, it was sold to the state of Pennsylvania to become part of the new Forest Reserve System. This is more information from the information board that I'm standing right in front of at the furnace. Cold blast furnaces built in the 18th and 19th century America mimicked European designs first used 400 years earlier. A thick stone surface shaped like a flat-topped pyramid, which is what we see here, served as a place of transformation where minerals became metal. Fillers dumped alternating layers of charcoal, fuel, iron ore, and limestone flux into the top of the surface. As the charcoal burned, air forced into the surface from the outside raised the temperature to nearly 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon gas escaped up the furnace stack, molten iron sank to the bottom, and impurities called slag floated onto the liquefied metal. In a process called tapping, guttermen drew off the useless slag. They channeled the iron into the connecting castings into the sand floor called pigs, and molten iron could also be poured into molds to cast items such as pots, pans, and stoveplates. There's that furnace right there. The flat top pyramid. Let's take a walk over. to squeeze through there, so I'm going to just let Tara do that. Kind of a view out to the parking lot from the furnace. It's really a beautiful day here in central PA. It's fall. You would expect it to be a little bit chillier, but that sun makes it really pleasant. Very nice day. Very beautiful park. It's a little bit more of the walls of the furnace. It's amazing to think how old this is. It survived the test of time. See, it's that teeny tiny space that Tara was able to get through that I'm not even going to try. Just kind of takes you around the whole furnace. In case you can't see what's written on here, it says the Pine Grove furnace in operation around 1883. Of the structures seen in this image, only the ironmaster's mansion, paymaster's office, and stone furnace stack remain today. And I know this is the stack, obviously, and that's the ironmaster's mansion over there, which I have read is used for overnight stays on hikers on the Appalachian Trail, which we're about to take a little bit of a venture to right now. We're going to take a little hike on the Appalachian Trail. Appalachian Trail, of course, goes from Maine to Georgia. This area is actually marking the halfway point between Maine and Georgia. I have read somewhere on this trail there's the official marking. I don't know how far we're going to hike on the trail today, but we'll see if we could find it. Again, really beautiful day in central PA. You can hear the birds chirping. I'm sure there's all other kinds of critters around here, but we're just enjoying the beauty of a really warm November day. Some November activities at the Pine Grove Furnace State Park. We just missed the tree ID hike that was yesterday. They also have a Veterans Day walk on November 11th. Valiant Vultures, November 20th. Activity backpacks all month long. So lots of activities to do here as part of the Pennsylvania State Park program. Pine Grove Furnace State Park is part of the Pennsylvania State Park system, and there's no fee to visit these parks, which is really nice. You could just come for the day and not have to worry about paying a fee to get in. See lots of people walking dogs, playing with kids, and just enjoying beautiful fall weather. We just visited this building here. It looks like it's a snack bar. It's not open right now, but there are some restroom facilities in there. Very clean, nice showers, nice restrooms, and looks like the camping area is over there. Again, this is a portion of the Appalachian Trail that's paved, real nice to walk on, and parking area over here. We're gonna make our way back to where we came from and check out the country store. So we're gonna keep walking on the trail, and we're going to get to a part of the trail where there's a little bit of a fun experience for hikers on the Appalachian Trail, particularly those who are doing the hike from Georgia to Maine. We are on our way to the general store, and we saw this Friends library. So looks like your typical little library. Take a book, leave a book for those hiking or camping. We also saw a hiker box, and I've read that this is a place where hikers trail angels or others leave items for hikers. Maybe they're waiting for something. Maybe you found something along the trail that you're leaving as a lost and found. There's also a registration for those staying on the Appalachian Trail. Making our way down here a little bit further. Oh, there it is, home of the half-gallon ice cream challenge. That's one of the ways that hikers will celebrate the halfway point of the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine, Maine to Georgia, by celebrating with a full half-gallon of ice cream from the general store here. Just looking through these bulletin boards, a lot of information for hikers. They have some people who will restock you. Remember, if you are on the Appalachian Trail for any length of time, you don't have your car. You rely on other people to get you maybe some supplies that you might be missing out on. Here's some information about the trail itself. So, great place to get your information, kind of like a community board. There's a little bit of artwork here that my daughter thought was interesting. She wanted to make sure that I got a shot of that. And everything, one-stop shop, everything you need to know while you're hiking the trail. Let's make our way over to the general store and see if we could go in and take part in at least a little bit of that ice cream challenge. Just really enjoying this beautiful day. Unfortunately, our timing was a little off today. They are closed, so we're going to have to come back and check it out another time. There is an Appalachian Trail museum to mark the halfway point. See the directions there. 1,090 miles to Mount, I don't know how you say that, I'll have to look it up, in Maine. And the trail continues that way. Here's the museum. We're not going to go into the museum today. We did want to check out Pole Steeple, and with the time change, our time is a little bit limited before we get back home. But that's what the Appalachian Trail Museum looks like. Right now, we are walking along Route 233 back to the park ranger office. A little bit of a fun fact, the Appalachian Trail Museum used to actually be the grist mill on the property, but this is now where the Trail Museum is housed. The second Iron Master's mansion is now the park office, which is where we are headed back to. And again, that is the place where we met the two park rangers, and they gave us those two maps, which really helped us out today. We arrived at the parking lot for Pole Steeple Trail. The entrance to the trail is right across from the parking lot. This is a 0.75 mile Blue Blazes Trail. I wasn't quite sure what a Blue Blazes Trail was, but apparently it is a side trail marked with blue blazes that branches off from the Appalachian Trail. And you'll see as we hike along here that the trail is marked with blue markings. So let's get ourselves started on this hike up the Pole Steeple Trail at Pine Grove Furnace State Park. We did talk to a fellow hiker who told us that we're about 2/3 of the way up the trail, and there's a fork in the road up here. If you go right, it's a bit of an easier path to the top, and if you go to the left, it's a much more steep, much more rigorous part of the trail. Much to Tara's chagrin, we did end up taking the easier path. I just wasn't sure. My knees bother me a bit today, so I wasn't quite sure if I'd make it up those really steep rocks. But here is where the Appalachian Trail connects, and we are going to head to the top of Pole Steeple Trail. I cannot wait to see what lies ahead, and I can't wait to share it with you. Well, we made it to the top, and it is so worth it. That was tough. There were points along the trail that I wasn't sure I was going to make it, but Tara was really my biggest cheerleader. She kept me going, and I'm so glad.
Don't fall. I'm so glad you got me out of bed.
This is really beautiful, and I can probably stay here all day, but it's time to make our way back down. Wow, that was a lot of fun. We had a great day here at Pine Grove Furnace State Park in Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. We toured some of the main camping facilities, and we took a little walk on the Appalachian Trail. We saw the furnace, and then our last part of the adventure, we went to the Pole Steeple Trail, which was pretty rigorous, I will admit. It's a lot of natural steps, lots of stones, climbing. There is a moderate way and a more rigorous way. We chose the moderate way, but I think it was still pretty rigorous. So, but it was worth it at the end. I think I'll be sore. I'm gonna take a nice hot bath tonight, but otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye.